Thank you all for being here. My name is Brittany Hernandez. I am your host for this Lightning Talk series in partnership with Documate. I'm a lawyer and the co-founder of Cor Meum Law and Cor Meum LLC, both of which focus on how innovations in tech can be used to solve human problems, both within the law and beyond. I'm also a pro Documator, advisor, and tutor, and the founder of Cor Meum Academy, which just launched the brand new Documator certification course. I also have the privilege of representing Documate and empowering law students around the world as their global ambassador to law schools. Today, lawyer and Documate's Director of Content Strategy, Molly Anderson, will discuss the topic TikTok and access to justice. TikTok is changing and improving access to justice across the world, and Molly will talk a little bit about what we can learn from these changes and how they can impact how we approach legal tech and marketing for legal services. Feel free to post your questions in the chat as you think of them, and Molly will pick them up once she concludes. After questions, I'll do a quick wrap up, after which you're free to stay on the call for an optional 5 minutes of speed networking, where I'll invite 4 people to introduce themselves for 1 minute each. I'd now like to introduce today's speaker. Molly is an experienced attorney with passion for bringing creativity and innovation to the practice of law. She practiced law for over 10 years with experience in complex civil litigation, small business representation, and local government law. And in recent years, Molly has focused on using legal technology to improve the legal industry. She became passionate about legal innovation when designing and running her client-centered law firm. And she now uses her experience to educate other attorneys and encourage innovation as the Director of Content Strategy at Documate. So thank you so much for being with us today, Molly. The floor is now yours.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me. Normally, everyone, I am doing the behind the scenes for these lightning talks, so it's fun to be on this side. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Brittany, can you see my screen? Are we good?
Yes, looks great.
Perfect. Okay, so today we are going to discuss TikTok and access to justice. What does that mean? A lot of times TikTok sounds very scary, right? So I want to look at how TikTok can be used to improve access to justice and how it is already going in that direction. I think we're going to discuss some fun topics, and you'll have a chance to ask questions. I will not be able to cover all of the ins and outs of marketing on TikTok and all of the information that is out there, but I want to give you guys a head start on where to look and where to educate yourselves. Okay. So why does this matter? Why are we even looking at TikTok? Why should attorneys, as licensed professionals, why is social media, and especially the video element of TikTok, why is that important to us? It's a way to increase access to justice. It's a very effective way to do that. And that opens up opportunities for marketing your services on TikTok while also improving access to justice. We're going to talk about the risks because I'm sure everybody has heard in the news, there are security concerns about the app. So we'll talk about what we can do about that. And then next steps. So how can we use TikTok to improve access to justice? We're looking at reach, who's on the app, how many people can we create as an audience, and education. So we're going to look at some statistics on TikTok audience. This is up to date from the sources that I could find. I tried to get everything as close to November or December of 2022 as possible. But TikTok, which just went international in 2017, I think it was limited to China before that under a different name. There are projected 1.8 billion users by the end of 2022. That's an enormous market of individuals to speak to. Compare it to Facebook's market, which Facebook is the most popular social media app. They are in the mid 2 billion range of global reach and active users. In the US, that's 138 million active users for the app this year. That's a lot of people, way more than TV, billboards, radio, or the local areas that you would be able to reach. 72% of users are over the age of 20. And this is a statistic that I think is surprising to most people, because the cliche idea of TikTok is that most of the users are very, very young, and would not be in like a legal market, right? They would, there's the cliche of, people are just doing dances on TikTok and it's just for, pure entertainment. But really, that's not true. What we have seen is that the age of the average TikTok user is rising. I think the second biggest group of users is from the age of 20 to 29. When you take everybody together and just take out, the teens that are using this, that's when we get that 72% of users number. And then this last statistic is crazy to me, but it also makes sense after I've looked at the app and used it a little bit. The average time on the app per day is 95 minutes. Your audience is there for a full hour and a half, more than an hour and a half, every single day. And they are just scrolling through content consistently. It is, you have a very, very active viewer audience there. So now we're going to switch to some other statistics. We're going to look at the access to justice gap. So I'm taking all of this data from the LSC Justice Gap Report from 2022. That's the Legal Services Corporation. It might be commission. I need to check on that, but I think it's Legal Services Corporation. And they do a study every year about the access to justice gap. And for those of you that don't know, I'm pretty sure most of our audience knows already, access to justice gap is the gap between the number of people that need legal help and the number of people that actually receive legal help, whether it's something that they can afford or whether it's something that they're getting as as a right from the government, whatever country you're in. So when we look at the report, and this is just for the US, I think we'll see similar statistics in other countries. Some may be better, some may be worse in the US, but this is for the US. 92% of low-income Americans do not get any or enough legal help. 92%. That's huge. 74% of those low-income households experienced at least one civil legal problem in the past year. So almost all of them, right? 3 out of 4 are experiencing some sort of life-altering legal problem. I did not put this statistic in here, but over 50% say that these legal problems, whatever they're having each year, is significantly impacting their life, whether that's financially, mental health, or even physical health. 46% say that cost is one of the reasons why they did not or could not find legal help. This makes sense. The legal hourly cost, traditional legal billing is rising, just like most prices for things right now in 2022. But we've seen a pretty significant increase in hourly rates over this, this year especially, but other years leading up to this. So really, not just low-income Americans, but mid-income Americans are also getting priced out of these legal services. And then 53% do not know if they could find and afford an attorney. So sometimes not only is cost a factor, but we're also seeing a barrier on how to find an attorney. And for some demographics and some higher income Americans, they may have attorneys in their network. But many times when we are looking at the low income group in the US at least, that's not always an option. We don't always see that sort of, let's ask a friend what lawyer they use, or my uncle's a lawyer or something like that. Because you see gaps in generational wealth. When you don't have that, then you're not likely to see as many attorneys in, the people that you know. So many times people just don't know how to find that legal education or help that they need, or they may not know where to go if they think they might qualify for government provided legal help. So what does this mean? We have a significant need for legal education and legal help. And we also have an active and engaged audience. Sorry for the typo there. So put these two together, that's a huge opportunity for impact. It's just an enormous market. And whether you're, your goal is to purely just for education, or whether you're trying to generate leads for your law firm or your legal product, the audience is there and they want the information that you have. Your legal knowledge can help so many people that are just sitting and scrolling on TikTok every day. So let's use it. Let's figure out how we can use TikTok to not only make an impact, but also help out your business as well. How can we do this? How can we educate and market on TikTok? First thing, there's two different kinds of content that you can create. You can create organic content, and then you can also have paid advertisements, or like boosting an ad on LinkedIn or a Facebook ad. It's very similar to that. However, on TikTok, I think that you will see a lot more engagement on your organic content, and that's a completely free way to get advertising or get your message out. So organic content is excellent for educational purposes. If you are releasing organic snippets every day of your area of law, educating people on the information that they need to maybe either one, find an attorney, maybe they'll call you, or two, just understand a little bit more about their legal problems. Sometimes, even just the educational content can go viral. The reason for this is because TikTok has a very, very strong algorithm. If any of you have ever spent time on TikTok, you will know that it very quickly understands what you're interested in, what is something that you would likely be interested in. Even if they don't know yet, they're going to test in your feed. They're going to test different videos and show you videos not from just your friends, but from creators all over the world. If they have a topic that TikTok thinks will be interesting to you, they are going to show it to you. So that's one difference between like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, those traditional social media sites. I say traditional, but all of them are new within my lifetime. But that's the difference. You don't have to follow somebody on TikTok to see their content. And that's why you have a chance. You don't have to have initial followers for people to see your content. TikTok is going to push it out to people, whether they know you or not. As long as it fits the algorithm, that's, people will see your content. So we've got educational content as an option under your organic side. You can use like very niche areas of law. You can talk about, something that's, just child support within the area of family law. You can narrow down criminal law, criminal defense to, specific crimes. You can talk just about personal injury involving truck cases. You can really get narrowly, you can just narrow down your content very, very well here. And that's because the algorithm is so strong. So TikTok is going to help you find the right audience. You don't have to, expand what you normally do. So if you've niched down your practice, that's great. And you only really need to provide short snippets. So on TikTok, you have the option for like a 60-second video, 3 minutes, and then 10 minutes. But those really short videos tend to do very well because part of the algorithm is repeating how many times people watch your video. It repeats automatically until somebody scrolls up. So if you have a 5-second video with text on it that people are sitting there and reading, they're going to keep watching, keep scrolling. That's a great way to provide just a little bit of information, boost your algorithm progress, and maybe get some more views. So short snippets are great. And instead of educational, you could also do something entertaining to get more reach on the organic side. So what we see there is you could see memes. There are a lot of trends on TikTok that you can follow, but you don't have to. You can just create fun and entertaining content for your target audience. Some examples of creators that are doing this right now, you might see Alex Sue on there who's creating content for attorneys, Matt Margolis, same thing. There are, they'll take experiences that they've had or things that they know about the legal industry as attorneys, and they'll just talk about life as an attorney. And a lot of times they spin some humor into it. It's, they've got some really great, funny videos that have gone viral. I think Alex at least has over 1 million followers or views. I cannot remember which one, but he's doing really well. I enjoy both of their content. There's another creator on TikTok that focuses on attorneys who reads court transcripts. And so she gets all of these attorneys and non-attorneys that are just coming to her page because she's reading funny court transcripts for like 30 seconds at a time. And it's great. And she has tons of followers that really just engage with her over this content. So, maybe if you've created a legal product, like you've got your document questionnaire and you are selling your product to attorneys, then you want to speak to other attorneys, and you can put content out like this. And then every once in a while you sprinkle something in about your product that you're selling. You don't have to even pay for ads if you're very popular with your organic content. So as I mentioned, the other option is paid ads on TikTok. You can keep it casual. So unlike some videos on other platforms, you don't necessarily need like a video production team. In fact, a lot of times people, when they're scrolling TikTok, they'll recognize immediately when you see like a professional quality video that has a lot of production or graphics, like, okay, I know this is an ad, I'm going to scroll up. The more you can keep it natural and make it look like just organic content in general, I think the more views you will see, especially just depending on your audience. But generally, that's what we end up seeing on ads on TikTok. You can also reuse your organic content. So if you had a video that did very well organically, you can then turn that into a paid ad and really narrow down your audience. So the algorithm does a ton of work for you, but if you, let's say you want to reach a certain set of people that's not, you're not getting a lot of interaction from based on the algorithm itself, you can then target that just like you do on Facebook or other social media sites. You can target that on TikTok and reach different audiences. You can test it out, you can experiment. You can also hire content creators. There is a creator marketplace on TikTok. You don't have to personally create your ads. You could hire an influencer in your area or someone that just has an audience that is similar to the audience you want to reach. It doesn't even have to be in, they don't have to talk about the same things that you talk about, as long as they have the kind of reach that you want. And you can either reuse some of their organic content, obviously with their permission, or you can have them create bespoke content just for you. There are some things you might want to look out for if you're reusing your organic content. Make sure you're not using commercially licensed songs, because you cannot then create that or use that in an ad. So make sure when you're making content that you're aware of this. If it's something you may want to reuse as an ad later, choose some of the commercially labeled songs on TikTok. So the ones that they have specifically categorized as for commercial use. Okay, so I know many of you are probably wondering, what are the risks of even just educating on TikTok? Let's say you're not trying to market at all, you're really just there for education purposes. The biggest one is security, and that's the one we're really going to focus on today. So use a separate device. One of the major concerns about the TikTok app is that it has a lot of permissions, right? When you put it on your phone, and I think phone and tablet are the only ways to even use an app for TikTok. If you put it on your phone, it can read pretty much everything. So you have to be very careful, especially as, if you are an attorney and you have any sort of attorney-client confidential information on your phone, just be careful about putting TikTok on your phone and, what kind of files you have on your phone. I think the best idea here, if you're really just going to use this for your business and education purposes, just have a separate device that you put TikTok on. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to have cell service, whatever you want to put it on, but keep it separate from any device that you're sending messages that have confidential information. Obviously, on your videos, don't share confidential information. I've actually seen TikTok videos that will be speaking about an active case, an active client, and sharing a little bit of information that probably I would not be comfortable sharing about who their client is or what's happening in their trial. Now you'll see a lot of like outside commentators on trials that are going on, especially very high profile trials, and that's okay, but you don't want to do that obviously for the trials that you're in. You guys already know this. Just use your common sense. Whatever you would normally do for media, bring that into TikTok as well. And then this doesn't really apply so much to security, but reread your state or your country's rules on advertisements for attorneys, especially if you're doing that paid ad option. Make sure you have all of the correct information. I know, so I'm licensed in Georgia. I know on most advertisements, you have to have like your full address. So look at everything, make sure you're just following the rules. Please don't get disbarred because of TikTok, but TikTok itself, using that is not a reason to, that's not an ethical violation, right? Just use common sense, read your rules. Same thing about TikTok's ad policies. TikTok does, they remove videos pretty quickly if they think there's some sort of violation. So read through the ad policies, make sure it's that you're following what you need to follow. So next steps, where do we go from here? I think the fun part about TikTok is that it's so easy to create content that you can, list out an outline of some of the things you want to talk about, but you can be very casual when you're making the videos. You don't have to have a ton of production. Maybe make sure you've got good lighting so that people can see you, but you don't need a fancy camera. You don't need anything except for, a phone and a light bulb and some ideas to talk about. That's the beauty of TikTok. People want to hear from your actual personality. They want that casual nature. They want to get to know you. So it can be easy. If you want to keep up and gain an audience and grow that audience, you do have to be somewhat consistent due to the algorithm. So you can batch the video production, do quite a few at one time, and make sure you have like a backlog. So that's where I would start. Your first videos don't have to be great. You will get into the groove. You will make videos and learn kind of what your audience likes, who your audience is. I think that legal services are an excellent area to market on TikTok that can truly impact people's lives. The more education you provide, the more people are going to know about what they need to do and whether they even need an attorney. So you are improving that access to justice, but the market there for attorneys, for legal professionals, for legal products is huge. Just anecdotally, when preparing for this lightning talk, I just went on, my podcast app and searched TikTok. And the first podcast that I saw was a TikTok marketing podcast. And the first episode that I saw from them was TikTok for legal services. So their point, and we'll in our follow-up email, I'll send a link out to that podcast. But they said the hottest market for marketing on TikTok is legal services. And it's because of all of these things that we've discussed. The need is there and the audience is there. This is there's a lot of gatekeeping in this profession for knowledge. And this is a way to sort of democratize that and get it into the hands of the people that need it. So that market is there. And if you can get on there, you are going to be one of the early adopters of getting your brand out on TikTok. So I think, don't consider yourselves as legal professionals like this is not something for us. This really is accessible for us. It is something that we can do, and especially if you've built a legal product, that's an amazing thing to market on TikTok. So get on Document, create your products, make some passive income, and get it out on TikTok. I think that having that instant access to legal documents or legal advice is something that will really appeal to the instant gratification crowd on TikTok. It's a quick way to really improve access to justice. So I think I'm coming up on time. I want to go ahead and wrap up this portion. You guys can always reach out to me with questions, but I'm happy to take some questions right now. If anybody has anything, let me open the chat and see.
Thank you so much, Molly. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and open up for some questions. If you want to stop sharing your screen so we can kind of look for hands and everything as well, that would be perfect.
Absolutely.
And then I also have some questions, but I want to give everyone a chance first because I was like, okay, I have this question. I have this question. I have this question. So I just feel like you prompted so many different things in my own head, but I'll just have a pause here to see if you can raise your hand or you can unmute. Okay. You're welcome to interrupt me if you have a question that gets prompted. But you kind of mentioned frequency of posting as a way of kind of understanding the algorithm a little bit and how you can kind of stay relevant on there. So since we're all busy lawyers and we're all building things and it's not really, this is one part of what we're doing. How often would you say is good to kind of be a part of that algorithm?
What I'm hearing is that daily posting is really preferred, but at least making sure you're getting a few videos out every week. That's really going to keep the algorithm up. I've seen some creators say that, they'll hop off the app for a week, they're on vacation. You can actually schedule posts out in advance. You don't have to actually be on the app to post. But they didn't schedule anything for the week they're on vacation and they can see like huge drops in viewership. So use those scheduling tools. I don't know that a lot of, I don't know that HubSpot or other third-party social media tools have advanced scheduling on TikTok yet, but I believe TikTok recently released that advanced scheduling ability. So you could do it through the TikTok app and make sure that you're just consistent. And you can repost something that you've already used. You can repost it and that's going to keep your algorithm up.
Okay. That's helpful. And then I have more questions, but I'll also pause here, see if anyone else wants to say anything. Okay.
I don't specifically have a
ahead.
question, but I just, did someone raise their hand yet? Or I don't specifically have a question, but I just want to highlight what you just said, Molly, because I think that a lot of people think of social media as being such a huge effort, and it definitely is. You have to have a schedule, you have to post on time, but you also mentioned about repurposing content. So there's stuff that you might write once, and maybe you write a blog post, and you can turn that into a longer video. You can turn that into a shorter video. You can turn that into some like little snippets that you put on Twitter. So some of this stuff that you're doing already, you can be repurposing throughout different social media channels and really capitalizing on that effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't reinvent the wheel every time. And you can even take the same video that you posted 2 months ago and repost the exact same video, as long as you're not doing that too often and reposting, the thing you posted 2 days ago. Put some time in between, but after a certain amount of time, you can take your old content and just keep that up, because you're going to have new followers that have not seen it yet, or people that might forget or may not have paid attention the first time, and you can reuse that same video.
That's so true. And we're going to actually move on now, but I just want to say thank you, Molly. I'm going to share my screen once more just now. And if you have other questions kind of prompted from this conversation, you can reach Molly at molly@documate.org. And I'm sure she would be so happy to answer your questions.
And real quick, Brittany.
Yeah, go ahead.
If people want to, I've got a question for the audience, if they can put it in the chat while you're doing announcements, but let me know if you have ever considered getting on TikTok to either educate or market. And if so, maybe that's something that we'll plan a webinar for in the future for Documate. Maybe we'll get some professionals that have really focus on TikTok to come and give some tips. So just let us know. It's something that maybe we can look forward to.
Absolutely. Thank you for kind of pointing that out. So before we wrap up today, I just wanted to let you know about a few announcements. So from Molly's side, she wanted to let you know that the nested repeating items feature is now available, which is really exciting because it was, I think, the #1 requested feature on our wish list. So I'm really excited for that as well. I've tested it out and it works amazing. From my side, you can become a certified documenter through the brand new Documenter certification course and gold test out exam if you've already been practicing for a while in the sort of professional documenter space. So you can get certified and earn badges at the basic, silver, and gold level. And also, if you or someone you know is a law student, professor, legal tech program director, or in the career and professional development department at a law school, please reach out to me at brittany@documate.org. I can arrange for the students to have free Documate accounts, and I can also deliver a workshop where we build legal apps together in real time. From the Documate side, there's a new beta feature, which I've been testing out as well and really love. It's Data Manager for end users, which is very exciting. You just need to reach out to help@documate.org and let them know which subdomain you're on and that you'd like to use it. And then just a few quick reminders that the marketplace is a place where you can have your free or paid workflows hosted on the Documate website on their marketplace. You can also add any requested feature updates or anything like that on the wish list, which they do take very seriously. And then if you use the hashtag built on Documate, you can get free Documate swag, which is very exciting. Some's on the way to me right now. And then every week, Trisha Duffin hosts an office hour. So if you have just quick questions, you need a little bit of help, every Friday. And then just to encourage everyone, we all are making really, really cool projects and different apps. So if you want to join the Slack channel and use the show and tell hashtag show and tell channel, I would encourage you to do that as well. We host these lightning talks on the last Thursday of every month, except for November and December. The next one will take place on January 26th, and we will hear from Haley Leviashvili, the founder and CEO of Giglaw. She'll be discussing the importance of building automation processes for startups and legal businesses. You can register for that and future lightning talks on our Eventbrite page. And that concludes the main portion of our lightning talk for today. We'll be transitioning into an optional 5 minutes of speed networking. So feel free to go if you need to, but if you'd like to stay and chat, we'll stop the recording now and move into that portion of the speed networking. And Dorney,